Hi there, this is Geoff from geoffmobile.com. Today I'm doing one of my first ever cooking videos in 360 degrees. So I'll first explain what this is. So I'm filming this on a special camera called the Samsung Gear 360. And this camera films all around the room at once in 4K resolution, so very high resolution. So first thing you can do, if you have a fast computer, go to the YouTube little controller on the left side and adjust the quality of your video to the maximum it will go, which is 4K. If you have a slower computer, don't worry, you can play it on a lower resolution, but you may not be able to appreciate all the crispness of this camera's quality. So today I'm going to be doing a cooking video that is been requested by a viewer, because one of my most popular videos on YouTube, which you may have seen, is the one how to cook Kraft Dinner without milk and butter. Because a lot of people, they have a package of macaroni and cheese, such as this one, at home, and they don't have any milk in the fridge, they don't have any butter, and so because of that, all the instructions always say, you must add milk, you must add butter. Because of that, they rather not have any dinner at all. So some people are going hungry, even though they have perfectly good food in their fridge, because they don't have milk and butter at home. But in that most popular video of mine that I made that was this regular camera, it actually shows that instead of using milk, you can just use a little bit of water and you can just totally omit the butter. So that was the trick. But in that video, I also showed how to cook it. So in case you don't know, I'm going to make a video again the same as that, but in 360 degrees, and I'm going to show a different product, which is very similar. This one is called Annie's Homegrown Macaroni and Cheese. And this one we bought it at Costco. You can also get it at other stores across the US and Canada, and maybe even other parts of the world. This is quite a high quality product. They taste really good. The sauces are yummy. As you can see, this is going to be a macaroni and cheese classic mild cheddar version. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is you got to boil some water. So let me get that started. And how this 360 video works is you can actually look around the room by dragging your mouse on the video on your screen, or if you're on the phone, you can touch with your finger on the screen and look around the room. And also, if you have a newer phone with an accelerometer, you can actually move your phone around like this, like kind of move it around and then look around the room that way. Another way you can use this video is if you have a Google Cardboard or virtual reality headset, there is a way that you can play these kinds of videos on your VR headset. So that way you feel like you're in the room with me and you can look around, and it's a lot of fun that way. So check out Google Cardboard for more information about using 360 videos in virtual reality. But without further ado, let's get started with the cooking. And the first thing I'm gonna do, I got this normal nice little pot and a lid. I'm going to fill up the pot with some water. So if you follow me around to the sink, which is over to your right, just fill up. Actually, it's better to use cold water. So I'll put some nice cold water in the pot, and I'll fill it maybe about 1/3 full. Okay, so it's about halfway or 1/3 full. And the other thing, you can put that on the stove. I'm gonna put the stove over here. And I'll turn the stove on high. Oops. Gas stove. Okay, and then I will add a bit of salt. So as you can see here, I've got some nice kosher salt, which is the coarser salt. I just take a pinch of that and between my fingertips and rub it together to break up the salt. Add that into the water. As you can see, there we go. Don't need very much salt, but the trick behind the salt is that if you add salt, it increases the boiling temperature of the water, so it will cook your macaroni faster. And if you want to avoid salt in your diet, you could stop adding salt. You don't have to add it, it's optional, but it does improve the flavor a little bit and also decrease the amount of time it takes to cook your noodles. So let's have a look at this macaroni's product here. It has the rabbit of approval here, as you can see on the Annie's package. Classic mild cheddar, cheddar du classique, very good. And because we're in Canada, all the packaging has French on it. Oh yeah, one other thing, if you want to speed up your boiling process, get the lid and put it on the pot. And that way the heat doesn't escape and just get wasted. It'll stay in the pot and do a good job of heating up the water. Okay, so back to this package. In the instructions it says here, on the other side, boil 6 cups of water in a medium saucepan. Well, obviously I don't have 6 cups there, but it's still gonna work even with less water. Stir in the pasta. Once it's boiling, then you wanna stir in the pasta and cook for 8 to 10 minutes. Well, I actually prefer to cook it a bit less time because I don't want it to be overcooked. So I might even try tasting it around 5 minutes. And if you follow me over to the freezer behind you here, open this up. I like adding some frozen peas. So I've got a bag of nice frozen peas here. You can see in my fridge here. And the frozen peas, if we go back around this way, I like to get the Canada A frozen peas, which are a bit higher quality. And I do like adding those into the macaroni near the end of the boiling, end of the cooking cycle, so the peas can just defrost. The peas are already cooked, or they don't need cooking, they're fresh, frozen, so you don't have to boil them with the beginning of the noodles. But they're always nice to add a bit of vegetables and color and a bit of extra flavor and texture. So I'm gonna open up this package. Oh, I first go through here. So after you stir in the pasta, cook for 8 to 10 minutes. Well, I'm gonna cook about 5 and then taste it, make sure if it still needs more cooking, I'll continue. And then it says to stir occasionally while you're cooking. Once it's done cooking, you wanna drain it in the colander. So here we have a colander, just a standard little, get these at Walmart or any dollar store will have these. They're a way to drain out the water from the food without having to have the risk of the food going down the drain, which unfortunately has happened to me and my dad at different occasions. And then so the other instructions here, after you drain the pasta in the colander, it says to add 3 tablespoons low-fat milk. So that is not what I do because I don't have milk in the house. Even though I like the taste of milk, I don't want to buy like a milk every week just so I can have my macaroni and cheese. So another thing, it says you can add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, but that's optional. So they even say that's optional here. Whereas on the Kraft package, the macaroni and cheese Kraft Dinner that I reviewed last time, that one says you have to add butter. In any case, I think it does. Maybe they changed their packaging now. In any case, the milk instruction here, well, you do need to add some liquid. So if you don't want to add milk, which I don't really want to add milk, you can also add just a bit of water, cold water from the tap. You can add some almond milk, which I could do today, or a mixture of those, but it's good to have a bit of moisture in there to melt the sauce package. That's a powdery package that comes in here. So instead of that, Annie has suggestions for a richer flavor. You can add 2 tablespoons unsalted butter. For a creamy, tangy version, you can replace milk with half a cup of low-fat yogurt. So as you know, there's many things you can do with macaroni and cheese, and even the Annies give some suggestions. Adding the yogurt is another option if you want a really rich flavor. Maybe you skip breakfast, so you can add a bit of your breakfast into your dinner. And they also say, we only work with trusted suppliers to source only non-GMO ingredients. And that sounds like a great thing. So GMO is, of course, genetically modified organisms. Not so great to have unless you, well, want to try it. So while we wait for the water to boil here, I guess I can just talk a bit more about the 360 camera. So as you may know, this camera is very new. I just ordered it from Korea last week. Last Thursday, I ordered it on ebay.ca from a seller named Cool-Guys, some company or some guy in Seoul, Korea, because this camera is only available right now in South Korea and Singapore. So basically, I went on there, ordered the camera, and then arrived only 5 days later on Tuesday in Canada. So I'm really excited about it. I've already filmed a bunch of stuff, as you can see on my channel. Links are below and also on my channel. But it's really exciting for me to try a cooking video for you guys. And if you have any comments about how this worked out, like for example, when I was going back to the freezer, were you able to look around or spin the video to see where it was going? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video now until the food gets going, and then I'll resume back in a moment. All right, so I'm back, and the water, as you can see over there, is now started to boil. So I'm gonna grab some oven mitts from the drawer below here. I don't know if they are there. Should be an oven mitt or two. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so I've got an oven mitt, and I'm going to take this lid off the pot. And the water's nicely boiling there. I'll And I'll open up the box of macaroni and cheese, just as you can see here. Comes with a sauce package that's labeled Annie's. And I'll just dump her in there. Move this camera a bit closer. Okay, so I will give it a bit of a stir. Wow, looks so good. We'll stir this up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes. I'll set the timer down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start. When it's boiling so heavily, you can reduce the heat a little bit because the way boiling works, it doesn't really increase the temperature if it's boiling more. It just loses more water more quickly. So I put it down to medium. If you really want to save energy, you could partially cover it as well. And that way the heat won't just go everywhere. So definitely I'd be interested in hearing from you all in the comments below what you thought of this experimental cooking video. And if you want to see me do anything else in 360, like cooking other things or other kinds of vlogs, maybe I'll do a 360 piano video using our beautiful piano over there, or synthesizers, all sorts of stuff. So many of the things I've learned throughout my years of doing video blogging on YouTube will also apply to the 360 cam. All right, so as you can see, it's boiling away there, and it will be done fairly shortly. It's about 3 minutes 43 left, so I'll pause the video again and come back in a few minutes when it's ready. It's been about 5 minutes now, and it's time to add the frozen peas. I'll take off the lid here and just open up the new bag of frozen peas, a fresh bag here. Knife up here. I really like frozen peas. This is an optional thing if you don't like peas, but I like putting in a lot because I really enjoy them. And there we go. Oh yeah. That's a lot. That's almost like a quarter of the bag, but small bag. Pop this bag back in the freezer behind you here. Put the stuff in there. So now that I added the peas, I got to turn this back up onto high because it's going to try to heat up those peas. Where did I put my wooden spoon? Over here. Stir this up a bit. And because it's been about 5 minutes, I think the noodles should be pretty tender by now. So it's a good idea to just test one and try it out. See if it tastes good. Do I have any spoons? Let me move this camera for a second. Spoon out of here. So here's a taste test. I've got my noodles. Doesn't look quite ready. Not bad actually. Probably needs another 3 minutes. So I'll put the lid back on. Let the heat stay in the pot there very nicely. So I'll set the timer for another 3 minutes. And then it should be ready to eat almost. It's a good idea to give things a bit of a stir once in a while. It looks really good now, I think. Maybe done. I'm gonna do one more taste test of the noodles. If they're tender enough, I will consider them to be all cooked. It does look tender now. Okay, that seems done. So here's then the action happens. Turn off the heat first on the stove. And first thing I do is grab it with the oven mitt so it is protects yourself from the heat. I'll grab a little cup. Before I dump it out, I'm going to put the colander first in the sink. And before I dump it out, I'm going to grab a cup and just get a bit of the liquid into the cup. It's very hot, so watch out. So I got a bit of the liquid here you can see in the cup. Put that aside. Dump out the pot into the colander so everything drains. Now, what it recommends to do is actually mix this sauce in with the water. So let me try that. I don't usually do it this way, but it's recommended. So I will, nope, lost a lot of stuff. Oh, our stove is beeping here. Just dumping the sauce into the cup of water. Side. Grab a fork and just mix up the sauce until it gets a nice creamy texture. You can see in there. It's all nicely mixed up. So add the add the noodles back into the pot. Now we dump in our creamy sauce mixture. And I'll get more out of there. By using a spoon. Take a bit of water, get the rest of it. Very nice, dump that in. And next thing I'll do is mix it up. Sauce and noodles getting all mixed together. Looks delicious. I really do like having frozen peas in my macaroni and cheese. Wow, look at that. And you see, it's good. Okay, so finally, I will just serve it in a bowl. Got these beautiful handmade bowls from Japan that my partner made. I will serve some into the bowl. Actually, I'm going to serve the whole thing because I'm a really big eater. I can eat a whole package for a dinner. So here's the serving of the Kraft Dinner that I have, and I'm gonna try tasting it, so see how it is. Oh, one more thing. I wanna add some hot sauce. So this is a really good hot sauce. This is called Sriracha hot sauce, hot chili sauce. It's used a lot in Vietnamese restaurants, also flavoring for burgers, all sorts of food. I'm gonna put a generous portion of that hot sauce on here. This. It's really hot, so if you don't like hot stuff, maybe not recommended. And the taste test. Okay, here we go. Looks really good. not bad. Tastes good. The frozen peas add a lot of extra texture and that sweetness of the vegetables. It's really nice. Hot sauce gives it a kick up, kicks it up a notch, as someone would say. And so that's your cooking video. If you like more videos from me in 360, please click the subscribe button below. Hope you enjoyed your 360 experience of watching me cook the Annie's macaroni and cheese. This recipe will also work for the Kraft Dinner and even the no-name varieties. So please try it at home, let me know how it goes. And if you'd like to have any ideas about this virtual reality, please leave a comment below. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye for now.